the exciting part, year out, the bank is going in leaps and bounds. When I joined the bank, I had set my mind on when I was going to leave. At the time we came in June 2009, the management account was showing a negative capital of 66 billion. Central Bank was quite supportive. They didn't want to create systemic distress at the time. Wema was unable to pay customers checks where they're presented. Those checks go through clearing, and then Central Bank was supporting us to pay. At the time I took over in 2009, the current account of Wema with Central Bank was 37 billion negative. So we were dealing with two issues. Capital, 66 billion negative as of June 2009, 37 billion overdrawn account position with Central Bank of Nigeria. So in total, we're looking at about 118, 113 odd billion that we needed to deal with. We came into the bank with a three-pronged approach to solving the problem. Very simple. And I think it was almost like a mantra that every staff knew, because in all of our meetings, we roll out our strategy so that and we made it very simple. First is to stabilize the bank. We needed stability. So the first thing is bring some level of stability. That's phase one of our plan. The second phase is to prepare the bank for growth, restructure, and then prepare the bank for growth. And the third phase is go for growth. I had those on paper. We had those on paper as our plan. And we diligently, on a daily basis, speak to what we want to do and follow through. First is to look at the staff. Do we have the people who share this vision? We found out that we need to let some people go. Painful process, but diligently done. At the time I came in as MD of Wema, there was a change at the Central Bank of Nigeria. A new governor came in. Lamido Sanusi Lamido became governor after that. So it came, you knew the tsunami in the banking sector at the time. A lot of big banks and all that were also probably in the same situation that we were. Maybe theirs wasn't published, but then the books were not looking good. According to examination done by CBN, licenses were taken over, Central Bank took over a lot of banks at the time, big banks for that matter. So a whole lot of things came out that enabled us to rescue the bank. The first thing I told my officers is, without stepping out of the bank, we have enough inside the bank to rescue the bank. Bad loan, provisioned loans in the books of the bank was about 118 billion at the time. Now just imagine you get 70-80% of those funds back. Two things will happen. You have capital, you have liquidity. And with liquidity, you can trade. And with trading, revenue will come in, profit will come in. And I say, so rather than knocking our head on the wall, looking for people who we haven't impressed for years, asking them to bring their money, why don't we sit in the bank? And we put a crack team, good hands together to be in charge of recovery. And that was why we were able to move from 66 billion in June of 2009 to 45 billion in December. We were able to do some recovery. That's 2009. 2010, AMCON came on board as a resolution vehicle. We packaged ourselves, packaged our loans. We were the first to knock on the door of AMCON to say, we have so much. We scanned and analyzed the bank. So we have a bank we call a national bank, operating up to far-flung Sokoto, everywhere in Nigeria. But we then looked at ourselves, indeed, Are we, by operation, performance, customer, business, a national bank? In footprints, we were. By the license we carried, we were. But in terms of business, really, we were not. After we've done all that we needed to do, now we have capital, we're emboldened by performance to step out, and you really now wanted to grow the bank. Growing the bank first, rebranding, change the logo, and we put what I mean arguably is one of the best logos around together for Wema Bank. We started touching all our branches, but of particular concern were the younger generations. In their minds, I think this is an old people's bank. So we put ourselves together, how can we reach them? That's number one priority. Number two, we also saw what's the direction of the whole world? Where is it going? So we started thinking, and then we came to a decision. Yes, we're a national bank. We want to be able to operate without hindrance all across the country. And then our conversation went the way, go digital. But what we're going to do is ourselves alone. We also needed the support of people who have done this in some other jurisdiction before. And they went around the whole country. They did focus groups all around, speaking to young people. And the simple question we're asking them, if you have the latitude to design a bank and pick a bank you want to do business with, what would that bank look like? That was the simple question. And all across the countries, it's quite revealing. Everybody wanted a bank in their hand. They didn't want to go to any four walls of any bank doing business. They want to do their business, practically almost everything on their hand, on the palm of their hand. And then we came back home and said, how do we achieve this? That gave rise to a lot that we built. And when we launched, the whole industry was caught unawares. The exciting part, I've left the bank, it's over 6 years. Year out, the bank is growing in leaps and bounds. It gives me joy that I let people behind who can continue, who understand what we set out to do. The way I look at Wema, Wema was founded by our forefathers. We give all to late Chief Okupe, who started the bank, to his family. I want to thank them for that vision of a man at that time, 1945, to start a bank. And the bank has gone through a lot of transformation, name change to where we are today. But no one will take it away from the fact that he started that visionary journey that we are today. So my prayer, I pray generation to generation that will take over the bank to run, will continue this tradition of excellence, of performance. Where we really want to do. By the way, a time was in banking industry in Nigeria that Wema was so rich, cash rich, that when some banks have challenges with cash, in those days, banks support bank under an arrangement of central bank. Wema was a bank people were turning to get cash to support those who needed money as banks. I want us to go back to that position where we are a major player in the banking landscape in Nigeria. So I wish on this anniversary of 80 years of the existence of Wema, I wish Wema the very best. I wish the management more power to their elbow. The results will continue to show that indeed Wema is a bank to watch and a bank to be.